Hello and welcome to one of the controversial releases in 2025. Why so? I'll explain you in a bit. First, let's take a look at this beautiful packaging by a new band, Patriarkh. This comes from Poland and you probably already know the story, but in case you don't, we'll revisit that quickly before talking about the music. However, this is how the beautiful packaging by Napalm Records looks like. So, 3 folding digipack with a rather thick booklet full of religious symbols, and now you might be thinking, is that some kind of a white metal band? Because of all the crosses and all that stuff. Well, the packaging surely suggests this is more about white than color black, but maybe something is not exactly how it really gives you the first impression. Maybe there is much more than meets the eye, like the old Transformers TV series slogan said. Now, this booklet is full of rather peculiar photos. Old men, old people in general, and not exactly looking like your typical black metal people.
I tell you, this is not.
What a real cranny.
What do you mean weird? I cast spells on you. I'm a witch.
Oh, surely are. Alright, enough goofing around. This is, however, how the booklet looks like. And like said, unlike your typical black metal one, this isn't like black or white, black, white, red with corpse paint people, but people with sheep. Oh, that is already a little bit weird. And then what seems to be some kind of a Polish countryside. Yeah, you probably know where this is going to. I surely don't, but that doesn't mean talking about this music, joking around about it and all that stuff. So, Patriarkh, and now you have it there on your screens. Used to be Batushka, or like people like to say, fake Tushka. Because back in the days, there were a couple of Batushkas. I'm not gonna touch the old topic because it's literally 8 years old at this point. But there were this original Batushka and then there was this new Batushka. And then they went to court and court decided that the original Batushka name belongs to the original founder of the band. And this new one continues with the name Patriarkh. So here it is, 2018 to 2024, they operated under the name Batushkas, and you probably saw both versions doing gigs and all that stuff, during various festivals. However, every fan out there is happy that justice has been served, and now they're bands with 2 different names, so no more need to wonder which version of Batushka you're getting when you're going to a festival. I've seen the original Batushka a couple of times, and they are great. So far, I haven't seen Patriarkh live, but I definitely want to. And this is how their discography looks now. Everything seems here to be from year 2024 instead of everything happened before. But that is because the previous releases are under Batushka's name if you go for Metal Archives and all. So while these seem like new releases, technically speaking, of course, they're a little bit older. And these are just now with the Patriarkh name. So these name confusions do never any good to anybody. Not the fans, not the labels, not the people in the band and all that stuff. So let's hope now we can move on with Batushka and Patriarkh having 2 separate entities and all that stuff. So because of that name change and all, this is the second album, which is here Prorok Ilja. This 2025 release comes with a list of song titles, which are just from 1 to 8 with the given name here, and that's how the whole album is overall, 40 minutes or 8 tracks, so roughly 5 minutes on average, including the intro-like thing here. Now, if you have heard Hospody, the previous album, you know that it sounds very much like Batushka, but just some with previous members of the band before the dispute and all. So it sounded like this Orthodox Christian religion take on black metal. Very atmospheric, lots of choir parts and all, but also somewhat different. Now, Prorok Ilja sounds way different. At the same time, it kind of echoes through with the previous encounters. That is, once again, this rather Orthodox religious sound is very, very much in the game. And as such, it feels almost like this black metal is now some post-black metal with, religious chants and all that stuff. Now, whether you just call it black metal with these topics like religion, Eastern Orthodox liturgy, blasphemy, whatever, or post-black or modern black metal, atmospheric black metal, goes beyond the scope of this video. I could go on a rant about it, because sometimes black metal seems to just becoming this umbrella term for so many different kind of things. Musically, however, Patriarch's album is basically the very traditional yet modern black metal, with the given ingredients like raspy, screamy vocals, certain kind of riffing and all that stuff. And on the other hand, it's very much like post-black metal, becoming so much more with the choir parts and, female singing and all that stuff, that certain parts don't sound black metal at all. Hardly even metal. And that's where it goes either good or bad, depending on your view and how you like the previous ones. So if Batushka is the starting point, you're going to start comparing these two. This seems more like a spin-off of all that. And that might really be a positive or negative thing, once again, depending how you like it. Now, I happen to like Hospodi, despite the whole, copyright thing and the fight at the court and whatever. But music as music is one thing, and the extracurricular activities like politics or copyright things or whatever is a different thing. So I don't give a fuck when I'm talking about the music, and for me at least, Hospodi was a good album. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and if you go for example, Metal Archives, seeing these reviews, this score seems highly, focusing on the other things rather than music, and as such I don't think it represents the music itself very much. Hospodi was in my books a good album, and that's about it. Prorok Ilja in a way is more unique in style, but to me it doesn't really do the trick. Maybe it's just too much of those choir parts and those orthodox parts where it just kind of gets too far away from the very core of, the whole black metal thing here. While I kind of like that they are now, going to frontiers which are unconquered and all, it feels almost like too much is just different. And this is where it gets complicated. You kind of have to be ready to embrace something new in order to like Patriarch's album, because it definitely won't be your comfort zone thing. I think a lot of people who are coming from, say, less experienced background in black metal might actually be more likely to like what Prorok Ilja is doing, because in fact it's very much like an entry-level black metal sense, in the sense that there are so many parts where you don't really get the raspy feeling, and it's almost like, I don't like the raspy feeling, but I like the black metal thing in other ways. Yeah, it's exactly that. And that takes me back to the early to mid-90s, when I wasn't so much sure if I'm gonna like the black metal vocals, even if everything from lyrical point to certain riffs and sound and whatever are like, this is good, but the vocals are putting me off. This could be the entry-level stuff for those who are new to black metal but are not sure if they're actually gonna like it. And for that reason, I am not exactly the core audience anymore. Hospodi did the trick for me because it was more traditional with some new ideas, and this is like just too many different new ideas. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I fully respect that the band is ready to go on and go to some unknown territories with their style, but it's also gonna divide people into two. So sometimes people might be saying, yeah, it's the second level syndrome. How are you gonna renew yourself but still keep intact, the original audience and all that stuff? And I think they're really getting divided here. So while an interesting album, some ideas are maybe too much in terms of quantity as versus quality. So maybe a little bit less of those ideas would have been better, but what do I know? It's just my opinion. Obviously, if you like previous Batushka album, or if you like the real Batushka, so you should probably check this out, unless you have those, say, opinions or principles that you're not going to check this one out because of the copyright things and the fights you record and whatever. That's up to you, obviously, and it's not my business to do what you want with that. Now, either way, links are provided in the description box, and what can I say? If you like this album, I strongly recommend you to getting the physical copy, because it's so much more beautiful than the stamp size image on your streaming services. Then again, if you're not really a fan, what can I say? Then probably streaming is all you need. Obviously, give it a go, give it a chance, and figure out for yourself whether or not this is your cup of tea. Now, off you go. stay metal.